Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Apologies for the late arrival, but let us begin now by placing our awareness in the area of the heart as we always do that. And let's begin to take slow, deep, gentle breaths and just experience these breaths flowing in and out of our hearts as we always do this morning. I hope that that is what you've been doing while you were waiting for me to get my tech up and running. So please do place your awareness in the area of the heart, taking slow, deep, gentle breaths, and experience these breaths flowing in and out of your heart, breathing very slowly, very gently, and just sitting with yourself and just connecting with your body. Let us do that for the next few breaths. And now begin to access the depths of this breath by experiencing the breaths going down to your root chakra. And that means that you breathe into your heart, draw your breaths right down to the root chakra. And this is a visualization or more of an experience. And then as you exhale, exhale from the root chakra out from your heart. And breathe in this manner for the next few minutes as we continue on our topic. So let's begin now to talk about the universe within. In this particular topic, we want to actually discuss, and let's take a quick look at the anatomy of who we are and what our belief systems are. And when we do our belief systems, we tend to take a walk with me through the past, for example, in this case. So the walk with me through the past is this, that when I was growing up, and perhaps you can relate to this, when we were growing up, we were taught in the old age wisdom that God was separate from us and that we have to please God. So we would do everything we can to please God. And when we listened to people, people told us that, or certain leaders of the church or mosque or synagogue or temple, whichever you worship, said that in order to please God, you must do good deeds. And these are what good deeds look like. They look like charity. They look like this. They look like that. And if you don't pray on a regular basis, then God will be displeased with you. So we have this understanding of God being displeased with us, God pulling our strings, God deciding and judging when we are good enough to be worthy of the benefits of having that connection with God. We were also taught that my religion is correct and everybody else is, they're still wavering, but they'll come to an understanding, and they'll eventually join us. So that was our understanding of separation, because God is the judge, will decide, and it's a he, will decide when we're being good or when we're being bad. The interesting part is that he doesn't directly talk to us. It's the intermediaries that tell us exactly what that is. Now, some of the authorities misuse their power, and that is where all the crusades came in, all the wars came in, all the things that are going on in the Middle East is because somebody says this is what God wants. As we evolved as humans, and we became more on the path of this path that we're on, that we're experiencing together, we're realizing that what the scriptures say, or what the ancient wisdom says, or what Jesus Christ or Muhammad or Buddha himself said, is that God is within us, and that God is unconditional love. That is an interesting and important concept. If God is unconditional love, that means you could do no wrong, God will still love you. So now we begin to evolve our understanding on, this universal force. God cannot be a physical being existing in the clouds, taking 6 days to create this universe and then resting for the rest of creation. That God is ever expanding, ever loving, ever continuing to engage us. And so we begin to evolve our understanding of God, and we no longer are comfortable calling God God, because God has such a restrictive persona in the way we were taught as kids. So we start talking about God as the universe, or we talk about all that is, things that are undescribable, because God is more beyond the physical aspect of a human. Once we begin to go down that path, other doors open up for us. And recently, I had this kind of an epiphany that happened as I was kind of introspecting and saying, okay, I'm pretty comfortable in my understanding of the universe. I think the universe is ever expanding, multidimensional, and it is interwoven within me. But it was up here. It wasn't really down here yet. And so one day I got an epiphany saying, okay, how does the universe work? And I want to share this with you. And I'd like you to take this away and not use it as gospel, of course. Otherwise, I'd be replacing the authorities that are intermediary between God and you. I don't want to do that. That's not my job. That is your job. So what I'd like you to do is consider this and kind of mull over it a bit this week. Is when I ask for a certain thing, for example, I want to find myself a new place to stay. Sorry, if you would mute, I'll mute everybody here. Sorry about that. Yeah. So if I ask the universe, please, I want this particular a place to stay where I've got all this wonderful nature around me and all that, then I just have to wait for that to happen. But the interesting part is, who am I talking with? When I ask the universe for a desired request, who is responding back? And I've begun to realize that it is my energy in this physical body that when I raise my vibration by meditating, by loving myself and by loving others, because we know scientifically that loving yourself and loving others creates this anti-aging, rejuvenating response in your body. So you become more healthier. And when you become more healthier, you have a better cognitive ability to see things around corners. And that is intuition picks up. This is all based on evidence. So when we start looking at this, we are realizing that what we're doing is this physical body of ours is actually connecting to that unphysical body, or the subtle body that is also us. The universe is nothing more than us, because what we're saying is that I want to raise my vibration to a level where I love others unconditionally. And when you say that, and when you actually begin to practice that, what ends up happening is that you become matching vibration to all that is. And when you actually match with that vibration or tend towards it, you are becoming more and more the all that is. And therefore, the only person that you need to ask to create desires, to shape your life, is yourself. And the language is unconditional love. So the more we practice unconditional love, the more the universe becomes likened to us, and we become more like the universe, and therefore we become the co-creators with the universe. So the universe is within. Hope this helped. This may have gone a little longer than I had hoped, but um, I will now do the next part of this particular program, and that is we will begin to tap into the universe's bounties right now. So this is where we begin to access the universe, and we begin to place our awareness in the area of the heart. And as we take these slow, deep, gentle breaths and experience these breaths flowing in and out of our hearts, our job now is to do nothing to please anybody else, but to actually experience love, joy, and appreciation. Our job is to begin to appreciate and engage with that love, that all unconditional love within ourselves. And we access that. When we access that, we become the co-creator. So let us begin by just experiencing and flooding each cell in our body with love. Let us recall an event in the past that made us feel that way. Let us recall maybe perhaps we have a fantasy about something in the future that will help us experience unconditional love. What does that look like for you? And begin to embody that and feel that. You don't need any tools or resources. You just need to ask and access the love within. And the more you practice, the more it'll come. Let's do this for a few breaths. As we take these breaths deeper, what we are doing is we are setting up the physical body to balance itself so that we are able to then invite the spiritual body to engage with all that is. So the breaths are very important as we take slow, deep, gentle breaths. And as we take a breath that's 5 seconds in or some form thereof and 5 seconds out, as long as they're symmetrical, our autonomic nervous system, which controls 90% of all our automatic body functions, begin to become balanced. We begin to stop the stress response. Stress response is nothing more than distancing ourselves from all that is. A stress response causes us to fear, and fear is the opposite of love and unconditional love. So when we do this breathing technique, we actually balance our physical body to allow us to begin to tune into that which is the greater of us. And as we know, there's a number of people on this particular broadcast and a number of people who will be listening to the replay. When we realize that we are one with all that is, we realize that all of us are the same in that deep spiritual sense. And that realization can only come from experiencing it. I know that we think about it, but let us experience it. And this is a process. So continue to experience joy and love in your heart as this day unfolds. You had your eyes closed, you may open them now. I want to thank you for participating today. Our 15 minutes do go by. Once again, my apologies for a late arrival, but we are here now and I truly appreciate the engagement. There are some comments coming in. There is Sudanta. Thank you, Sudanta, and hope everything's going okay in the UK for you. The guidance came from priests, imams, monks, etc. They needed to be funded. Much love. We all need to be funded, and a lot of these individuals were actually doing the work that they sincerely felt was needed. As a matter of fact, they felt a lot of joy and love in their hearts, which was true connection with the universe. And it doesn't matter, your outward behavior matters, of course, if it doesn't hurt others. But if your intention of your outward behavior is to support others and you're feeling joyful inside you and you're feeling experiencing, it doesn't matter what judgment befalls you. If you are a monk or a priest that's giving out information that you and I, it does not resonate with you and I here, but they're solidly in their hearts and unconditional love. There is unconditional love from God, and therefore from all that is, and that is connecting with themselves. And when you do that unconditionally, what happens is that the higher wisdom comes in. Then it's up to you to then reconcile that. Often enough, and I know everybody's been through this, we've all been through the fact that we understand the universe. We understand, just like I did. I understand how the universe works. I know that. It's obvious that it works this way until information comes through. And then we realize, oh, it really doesn't work that way. At least that's not how it works in my understanding of this new piece of information. Now I have to rethink how the universe works and admit that what I was saying in the past is not right. And we're hoping that all the people that are leading and influencing others' spiritual belief systems are able to say, you know what, I was mistaken. This is not the way it works. So thank you for that comment, Siddhanta. I really appreciate it. Yes, and further comments saying that unconditional love, synchronicity, indeed, that you speak of it today. Yes, there is a synchronicity involved in everything that we do. When we are actually tapped into this feeling of love in our hearts, and it begins right here, and that's why this program is called, my website's called Ignite from Inside Out. It's because it starts from inside and outward. When we do that, what happens is synchronicity it becomes easier. Synchronicity means that you will meet the right people, the right information that will take you to the next level, and that will eventually get you to a goal. And by the time you get to a goal that you have been desiring, a new goal will present itself. Because if you're not creating and ascending, you are actually in a decline. Because human need is to create, constantly create. There is nothing, if you feel that you know exactly how the universe works, that's a sign for you that something new is coming. And I would invite you to look out for that, because if you don't stop growing and have a better appreciation of the universe, you will be stuck in an old paradigm and things will pass you by. All right. So Michelle, thank you. Michelle, how timely, Shamir. On Saturday morning, I received an invitation to move out of the city to a small rural house in nature with a garden. Many people don't know Michelle. I know Michelle. Michelle has been visioning this particular desire and really feeling it. And she was going through a roller coaster ride. I hope you don't mind me sharing this, Michelle. I think I understand that you might be okay with this. A roller coaster ride of fear, because it's a new thing, and excitement, inspiration. And in that mode of inspiration, she decided to take a jump. It was that inspirational jump that she took that initially looked like it was a backward move. And then now, with this new information, which I had never heard, thank you for sharing, Michelle, all of a sudden, our vision presented itself. This is how the universe works. It is coming in, getting into your heart space, and really opening up your heart from inside, and then everything else will open. This is a perfect example. Thank you, Michelle. That's beautiful. I appreciate that. Sharing it, at least. So, if you have any questions, other questions, and I know you guys have already connected with me and asked me a few questions, send me an email. I do want to let you know that those who are not Ignite members, there's this Making Law of Attraction Works. And it is along the same line and same practices as we talked about today, about how to get clear on your own vibration and how to clear up the fear-based actions and get more inspiration in, so that you can tend towards that unconditional love frequency. Then magic happens, synchronicities happen, and there are certain things that we need to be aware of. There's certain setbacks that you'll have, and it's all normal, just like Michelle's example showed. And in this particular program, I show that. All right, so if you are interested in doing that, you can actually access it on my Teachable site. You can access it through the QR code. And of course, if I can be of service to help you get out of your own way, that's why I'm here. I don't see any more questions coming through. Great engagement. I really appreciate all of you participating in this way. I look forward to seeing you next week, and we'll chat with you real soon. Thank you so much. Much appreciated, much love. All the best for the new year, and let's kickstart this new year with co-creation, because it's simple. You don't need tools. You don't need me to help you. You might need me to get you unstuck, but after that, you're on your own. Everybody's on their own on this one, but we're all together. So if you can find each other to help unstuck each other, by all means, let's do that. Let's help others, because that by helping others, you help yourself. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care for now.